All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle the single biggest question on the mind of any professional who's dreaming of working in Germany. Can you actually pull it off if you don't speak the language? Let's find out.
This is it, right? This is the question. The one that keeps you scrolling through forums and expat groups late at night. Can you really pack your bags and build a career in Germany if your German is, let's be honest, pretty much zero? Well, let's cut right to the chase. The short answer and the really good news is a big, loud, confident yes. You absolutely can. And you know what? It's actually more possible right now than it has ever been before. Let me show you why.
So, this isn't just wishful thinking. There are some really powerful economic reasons why Germany isn't just open to English speakers, it's actively looking for them. It all boils down to this: a massive, skilled labor shortage. Germany's economy is an absolute powerhouse, but they just don't have enough skilled people to fill jobs in really important areas like tech and engineering. The government knows this, and they are literally changing rules and building websites to make it easier for people just like you to come over. They don't just want your skills, they need them. Okay, so knowing that jobs exist is one thing, but actually finding them, that's a whole other ballgame. You can't just browse around and hope for the best. You need a real strategy, so let's build one right now. You already know the big players, I'm sure. LinkedIn, Indeed, and the big one in Germany, which is called Xing. These are your starting line, for sure. But here's the catch. Just typing in your job title and hitting search is not going to cut it. You got to be a little more clever.
And this is the secret weapon. It's such a tiny change, but it makes a world of difference. Instead of that generic search, you add the magic words English speaking or just English. Boom! All of a sudden, all the noise disappears and you're left with a list of jobs that are actually perfect for you.
And please don't stop at the big three. So many people do. The real hidden gems are often in these other places. Think local city job boards, websites made specifically for expats, and yeah, even Facebook groups. The great thing about these is you're often connecting with real people, not just getting lost in a giant HR inbox.
Okay, let's talk about the N word, networking. I know, for many of us, it can feel a little, well, pushy or awkward. But you have to completely reboot your thinking for the German job market, because here it's not just a good idea, it's basically expected. I want you to really let that sink in. Sending a message to a recruiter on LinkedIn or an employee at a company you really admire, that's not being annoying. In Germany, that shows you've got initiative. It shows you're genuinely interested, and they love that. So the takeaway here is you've got to be proactive. Get online, find those people, and send them a thoughtful, personalized message. And get offline. Go to career fairs. And in both cases, just be direct. Tell them you're interested and ask if there are opportunities. You're not bothering them. You're showing them you're serious. And if you think, does that really work? Get this. This is a true story. One person reached out to a company that had zero open jobs listed. But the company was so impressed with their proactive approach, they literally created a job just for them. Now that is the power of networking the German way. So we've found the jobs, we've made some connections, now it's time to apply. And this next part, this is the hurdle where most international applicants stumble and fall. But you won't, because you are about to learn the single most important rule for your CV.
Here it is, the golden rule. It's actually really simple. The content of your CV, your skills, your experience, that should be in English because it's an English-speaking job. But the format of the CV, the way it's structured, has to be German. That means a clean chronological layout, maybe a professional photo, and definitely keeping it short and sweet.
The logic behind this is kind of brilliant when you think about it. The English content proves you have the international skills they're looking for. But the German format shows them you've done your homework, that you respect local customs, and that you can adapt. It's the perfect 1-2 punch. So please, whatever you do, avoid these classic mistakes. Do not just attach the CV you use back home. And never, ever, ever just run your English CV through Google Translate and call it a day. They will spot it a mile away. And finally, just be honest about your German level. It's always better to be upfront. So let's say you do all this and you land a job. Amazing. But that's just the beginning, right? To really build a successful career, and more importantly, a successful life in Germany, we need to think beyond day one.
And that brings us right back around to the language question, but from a whole new perspective. You got the job without it, but to really thrive, are you going to need it?
The answer, again, is a pretty clear yes. Look, you can work without it, but you can't really live and grow without it. We're talking about everything from simple things like going to the bank or the doctor to the really important stuff like making genuine friendships and, critically, getting those big promotions into management roles. For that, German becomes absolutely essential.
And this, right here, is probably the single biggest takeaway of this whole explainer. Think of your English skills as your entry ticket. It gets you into the club. It lands you that awesome first job. But German is your long-term growth strategy. It's what turns a job into a real career and an apartment into a home.
So, the path forward is pretty clear. You have what it takes to get that entry ticket. The only question left is, are you ready to start building the growth strategy that will define your future in Germany?